Okay, good morning. For this lesson, you just need to have scrap paper, but if you want to print this document out to have it in front of you instead of just on the video, you can do that. That's attached. So up to this point, we've covered two types of word problems in regards to systems of equations. So the first one is, or the first kind we covered, was the one that discussed like when would the cost be the same, like with the gyms, like Planet Fitness versus Silver Gym. And I said, oh, it would cost the same if I planned to attend 3 times a month, but it would be less expensive if I attended Planet Fitness because my goal was to go 4 to 5 times a month. That was the first type, so when you're asking when things cost the same or be the same. And then the second type, which we introduced last week, right, the second lesson from last week, remote, we talked about the questions that were asking how many. So we're going to start with that one, just simply because it's first in my packet. So let's do this first. So it says tickets for a high school dance cost $4.50 each if purchased in advance. Let's zoom in. Oop, not that much. And $5.50 each if bought at the door. For the dance, 250 tickets were sold, and $1,200 was collected. How many tickets were sold at the door? So what is the key phrase here? Key phrase is how many. Okay? So this means that the first equation will have to be what? The first equation is going to have to be x plus y. But in my morning haze, what did I forget to do first? It's a big one. What did I forget? Right, the let statement. So if we're looking, remember the let statement comes from the question. So if we are looking for how many tickets were sold at the door, then the let statement should be let x equal the number of tickets. But there's two types of tickets, right? So if this is a systems question, then there's going to be let x equal, and there's going to be let y equal. So it's going to be talking about the number, but what types of tickets do we have? We have advanced tickets and at the door. So let's have x equal number of tickets sold in advance. And let y equal number of tickets sold at the door. Good job. Okay? So the first equation, you're going to let, how many tickets did they sell? You're going to let x plus y equal what? Well, look at this. Look at. Okay. Let me back it up. 450 is one number. It's a dollar amount. 550 is a dollar amount. 250 is not a dollar amount. And 1200 is a dollar amount. Don't mind my finger. I burnt it making pizza Friday night. I had my pizza stone. So it hurts so bad. So this number here is the only number that doesn't have a dollar sign with it. And let's see if that makes sense for what we could set this equal to. This is talking about the number of tickets, not like how much they're worth, how much they collected, just the ticket count. So this would be, that makes sense. You're going to make this equal to 250. The second equation talks about how much what you're talking about is like worth. Typically has to do with money, but not always. So what did they collect? What was the dollar amount they collected? Right, $1,200. Okay, so that's a dollar amount. How did they wind up collecting $1,200? Because X, which is the number of tickets sold in advance, these tickets were $4.50 each. So you're going to do $4.50. They made $4.50 for each one of those that they sold, and they made $5.50 for each. Ooh, I didn't leave myself in a room. Each ticket sold at the door. So that's how they wound up collecting $1,200. Now, from our last lesson, we talked about graphing this to solve it. So you would have to subtract x on both sides to set that so that it was so that was in slope-intercept form. This one you'd have to subtract 450x and then divide everything by 550 so that it was in slope-intercept form. But pretty soon I will teach you how to solve this without having to graph it. Okay, let's go on to the next one. Okay, Miss Raymond's all confused. Let me pause the video. Okay, I guess it didn't pause. So we're going to do number 13 next. I decided I was going to skip around, but I decided this one's probably better, even though it's a little tricky because it still talks about money. So it says a purse contains 22 coins, some nickels and others dimes. If the total value of the coins is $1.45, how many of each kind of coin are there? So look at, what's the key phrase? How many, right? So we're talking about how many. So let's make our let statement. What would you let x equal? The number of nickels. Good. And then let's let y equal the number of dimes. Okay? So if the question's a how many question, we're going to do the first equation is going to be x plus y equals how many coins do we have. Not like if you were to add up their value, but if you were to count them up. How many coins do you have? 22. Okay? What's the second equation going to be? The second equation is going to be, I gotta tell you right now, equal to $1.45. That's probably easy to come up with, right? So you know the second equation usually has to do with the money, like we did up here. But what would we make this side equal to? So this is where some of the information is inferred, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the x and the y plus y, right? But you have to put values for them in front of it. Well, what can we put for a value for x? What is the value of a nickel? 5 cents. So let's write that, but this is where you gotta be really careful. 5 cents is 0.05, right? Not 5x. And then the dime is 0.1. So a little tricky. Not that you can't figure it out, but honestly, they do the coin questions all the time. Once you see this a couple times, it won't be anything that tricky. All right, let's do one of the questions where it asks when they'd be the same. This is why I need a stapler. Okay. All right, we're going to number 17. Okay. Nico's Online Music Club charges a monthly rate of $20 plus 80 cents per song download. Ava's Online Music Club charges a monthly rate of $21 plus 60 cents per download. So we got two different things going on, right? For what number of songs will the monthly charge be the same for both clubs? How much will it cost? What's the key phrase? When will they be the same? That's right. So let's do our let statement. What are we looking for? So let x equal. We are looking for what number of songs will the monthly charge be the same? For what number of songs will the monthly charge be the same? So we're looking for the number of songs. Number of songs. Okay. So in the past, this is how we've done this because we had not talked about systems. We just took each one of these. See this first sentence? $20 plus 80 cents per song. And this one, $21 plus 60 cents per song. And we just sent them equal to each other, where this would be your X right here. Okay? So let's write that out. We did this. Now this isn't typically how I would present this. So this is your first sentence. $20 plus 80 cents per song equals $21 plus 60 cents per song. You guys rocked this on the test. I was pretty impressed with you. What did we say in class when we started talking about systems? What did we say in class was missing when it came to talking about the scenarios? That's right. Well, you're talking about, like, when would they cost the same? You don't want to know how much it's going to cost. So typically, when I would teach this, you're going to let y equal the cost, okay? So before I did this step, you could say y equals 20 plus 0.8x, and y equals 21 plus 0.6x. And then you could graph each one of those, right? So that's kind of what, this would be the pre-step before this, if I was doing this normally. All right, so that's where we're going to end it. And listen, this is really, really hard. So all you guys are doing a really good job. There's a good chunk of you watching these videos, trying to understand it. The more you see these, the more you're going to see the patterns repeat. You probably already feel a little bit more comfortable about the first type of question, right? So you do that 10 more times each type, you'll be good, okay? So good job getting your practice in, and I will see you tomorrow.